Real Madrid beat Rayo Vallecano by 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu on Sunday afternoon. Another local derby for Real Madrid, sandwiched between their two meetings with Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. And they came into this game knowing that Atletico Madrid had lost their league game against Getafe in the previous afternoon's kickoff. Vinicius made a very bright start. He tried to pick out Mbappe here, but Dani made the block. No Fede Valverde in the starting lineup for Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham was back from suspension. Rudiger missing because of flu, and there was no Thibaut Courtois. He had a minor knee problem. Dani was in the starting lineup for Rayo for the injured Mumin, and that was his header over the top early on. Lots of injury problems for Rayo as well, particularly in the striking positions. They played without a striker. Alvaro Garcia was the false nine. Another opportunity here for Vinicius. Cleared by Pache-Spino. No Isi Palason, no Sergio Camello, no Jorge de Frutos for Rayo, no Randy Nteka. But they came into this game having picked up 17 points on the road so far this season, only 2 fewer than they picked up at home. Another chance here for Vinicius. Batalla comes out and then makes the decision to try and dribble around Vinicius, and he manages to pull it off. He then gets the ball back from Rayo and then thinks, well, do I dribble around him again? He's a little bit more cautious the second time. But that'll be a claim to fame for him, having come out of his area to go around king of the dribbles, Vinicius Jr. Madrid kept pushing forward, and they hit the post when Vinicius struck this shot from the edge of the area. Mbappe lost his footing as he tried to bury the rebound. Onside, Rodrigo Goes. Real Madrid had failed to beat Rayo Vallecano in the last 2 meetings, both with Inigo Perez in the Rayo dugout. The game earlier in the season finished 3-3. Rayo Vallecano took a shock 2-goal lead in that game. Well, Asensio with a no-look back pass, not advisable, almost catching out Lunin. To just make sure that stayed out of his goal. Rayo tested Lunin, and when the ball came out to Gumbau, it was Asensio who made the block. It's been a long time without a goal for Gerard Gumbau. Let's go right the way back to April 2023, so we're coming up to 2 years since his last goal, but he had an opportunity here, and Asensio making the stop. Rayo with the first effort. It was also very well struck, saved by Lunin. He scored last week, Rayo, in the draw with Sevilla. Another opportunity here for Pedro Diaz. He didn't catch it right. Wouldn't be his last, though, and he would make far more of the second chance that he had just before half-time, which we'll see shortly. Before that, let's look at the Madrid goals. Kylian Mbappe scores the first. 18th league goal of the season for Kylian Mbappe in his first campaign in Spain. Racing clear, and once he checked back onto his stronger foot, we knew what was coming. Batalla could do nothing about it. So 1-0, the breakthrough made. Lejeune was the last line of defence, really, for Rayo, and he couldn't keep Mbappe at bay. chance at the other end. Adrien Imbarra with a shot well saved by Lunin. Lunin making his 4th league start this season in Courtois' absence. Vinicius does well here. And even better with the finish. So 2-0. Anything Mbappe can do, he can do just as well. 10th goal of the season in the league. 4th season running that Vinicius has managed to get into double figures for Real Madrid. And he does it earlier, it seems, every season. Still plenty of football to be played for him to improve on that 10-goal tally. At this point, you wondered if Rayo Vallecano might sink without trace. To their huge credit, despite the 2-goal deficit and despite how many players they had out, they did not throw their hands up and give the game up. Mbappe with the possibility of making it 3. Good save with his feet from Augusto Batalla. Down at the other end, good run from Rathew, blocked by Alaba. Comes out to Pedro Diaz. His effort is blocked and skewed wide by Gumbau. Another chance here. It's Vinicius' pass. Fran Garcia blazes over. Vinicius likes to be the recipient usually of that type of pass. On this occasion, he was the provider. But Rayo's positive response would soon be rewarded. Positive response to going behind. Alvaro wins the corner. Alaba's block. Nice football on the edge of the area. And Pedro Diaz with the shot. It appears to come back off the crossbar and out of play, but it had crossed the line. The flag was raised for an offside, but the offside came after the ball came back out. And so the goal was given by the video-assisted referee. And it was Real Madrid 2, Rayo Vallecano 1. Pedro Diaz's first goal for Rayo. Got 7 in his previous season, playing in France, but that's his first in LaLiga. Goals have come from everywhere this season at Rayo. Nicely worked by Alvaro and Pedro Diaz. Actually hits the crossbar twice. Once as it crashes down over the line, and then as it comes back out. So that seemed to set things up nicely for an interesting second half. But Madrid dropped their rhythm slightly, maybe already thinking about the second leg in the Champions League just a few days later against Atletico Madrid. And Rayo weren't able to make the most of that gear change. Kylian Mbappe dragging his shot wide there. Up against Aridani, not too much in the way of support, had to go alone. Spino sending this one back to Gumbau. He clips it to the back post, and Barber couldn't get on the end of it. Fede Valverde came on for Rodrigo in the second half. Valverde rested at the start of the game, but fit enough to play some part. He came on to play on the right of midfield. There was a triple change with Pedro Diaz, the goal scorer, coming off. Balliu and Oscar Valentin, 2 of those who came on. Barber was taken off. Gerard Gumbau, another of those making way. Treco was the 3rd player to come on. Limited options for Inigo Perez. Still without the striker. He was relying on some magic from Alvaro. That was his shot that was comfortably dealt with by Lunin. Bellingham playing in Modric. Modric with the cross, And Vinicius opening his body up and side-footing that just beyond the far post. Kylian Mbappe making way. Not looking too happy with his performance. Second league game running that he'd been taken off in the second half. Camavinga coming on. Ball played forward here for Vinicius. He races away from Lejeune. And then he's very unselfish, trying to pick out Fran Garcia. Aridani makes the block. On another day, Vinicius would have gone for goal there. Unai Lopez coming on for Pate Ciss, who had an excellent game in the centre of midfield. Sergio Guardiola coming on for Rayo. And with 5 minutes left, Brahim replacing Jude Bellingham. And on the volley, a late chance for Oscar Trejo. Rayo fans would have wanted it to drop to him, technically such a good player. But he can't hit the target. Blasted wide. Late pressing from Rayo, has to be said, never really looked like getting a late equaliser. Aridani's heady comfortably saved by Lunin. Didn't make the best of their set-piece opportunities throughout the game, really. Madrid have been susceptible of late, but Rayo weren't able to make that count. And the final score in the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid 2, Rayo Vallecano 1.